Hey guys, Brandon here with Texas Plinking, bringing you guys another review. This time it's finally over my Ruger Precision Rifle 6.5 Creedmoor. About maybe a month and a half or so ago I made the unboxing video, made a couple shooting videos, first impression stuff, and that's about it. So yeah, like I said, with most of my reviews I want to get accustomed with the rifle a little bit more, learn about it a bit more and how it performs before I make the review. So I'm at the point to where I think I'm able to give the review. But as much as I just want to talk about my impressions with this and how it shoots, to make this a review we're going to have to go over some of the specs, most of which you might already know if you've seen some other reviews, but we'll just kind of go through them real quickly. And then I've already shot this gun today with some different ammunition, we'll get into that. And so yeah, what I'll do is talk about the specs, talk about what makes my rifle different because of what I've done to it, and then we'll go shooting and then come back here and then talk about some of the results and what we found out from shooting today. Without any further ado, let's just get into the review. Alright, so starting up front, we are introduced with the new muzzle brake. Now I forgot to mention that this is the Gen 2, not the Gen 1. New to the Gen 2 is this new free float handguard with the key mod. I believe the last one did have key mod as well, but it was just a different design. And in the ports here, I do like the Gen 2s look a little bit better myself. But you also do get on the Gen 2 the new flash hider, which apparently reduces the recoil by some percent. I forgot what it was. It was pretty drastic. It was either 40 or something like that percent recoil reduction, and I can believe it because each time you shoot this thing, the recoil is actually quite minimal. It's pretty comparable to a 223 bolt action like my Msrp MVP. It doesn't kick desperately hard, but you could just see the blast and all the dust kick up and all the netting kind of get thrown off to the side. So yeah, it definitely puts the force horizontal versus directly to you. So that's a very nice feature included in the Gen 2. Also new to the Gen 2, I believe that this is new to Gen 2, might have been in the Gen 1, but it has the bolt shroud. That way in that shroud you can have the tool to adjust the trigger. Speaking of the trigger can be adjusted from 2.24 pounds all the way up to 5 pounds. And if you could look here, it has the kind of like dual safety trigger as well. Some people don't really like that. I personally kind of like it, or at least don't mind it. But yeah, worth noting anyway. Alright, and working our way back over to the receiver, you can see on the other side of the receiver that it has some shared traits with the AR platform. Just like the pistol grip, you could switch that out with whatever pistol grip you want. Personally, this is a very, very slim one, kind of reminds me of a Magpul MOE, and I quite like that. I might get something more ergonomic with a beefier grip, see how I like it, but this one will do for now. Like I said, reminds me of a Magpul MOE, which feels good to me. Also with the AR style, you do have the AR safety switch on the side. Of course, the throw to put it from fire and safe is much shorter because it's not a full 45% turn like it would be on an AR. This one is probably about half that. But anyway, like I said, AR safety switch, AR pistol grip. So yeah, kind of some similarities as far as that goes. Now the stock is also kind of shared with the AR. I've seen some people put some Magpul stocks on there, some of the, like I believe, the PRS stocks I've seen on here. But you can remove this and it just has the AR style buffer tube there. Now speaking of this stock in particularly, I quite like it once it's all set, but personally I kind of found it a little bit of a pain to just get it where I want. But now I'm happy with it. For example, right here, this will adjust the elevation for the cheek piece, the cheek riser. So you just kind of pull this out and then loosen it, and then you can move it in and out, or up and down I mean. And then this one right here is for the length of the stock. Now that one gave me a little bit of trouble at first because it has to line up with a certain notch. You can't screw it on and clamp it down when it's on a certain tooth of that tube. I'll get a close up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So it's kind of finicky at first, but once you get it, it's rock solid. Speaking of the cheek piece though, you can rise it like I said, and then you can even flip this piece the other way if that helps you with your eye relief on your specific scope. Also with this stock, you can fold it as well, which makes carrying it around in certain bags very, very easy. So you just press this button on the left side and then it will fold in on itself towards the left. So that makes carrying it around much, much easier. One more cool thing with the Ruger Precision Rifle is it ships with two 10-round PMags, which is pretty nice. The only thing with that is that there's no mag in there right now, but when, let's say, we just ejected the last shell, but the mag is still in there, from what you can tell with AR mags, they will prevent you from sliding the bolt back home. But with that said, this has like dual catch system on the mag well, so if you don't want to use PMags, you could use pretty much any style mag that fires that round anyway. So very, very smart system to accept pretty much any mag out there. So that's pretty cool. But that was worth noting that if you fire the last round with those PMags, it won't let you put the bolt home. So yeah, that could get a little irritating. But then again, if you know to expect for that, then not too big of a deal. Speaking of the bolt, it's a very, very clean throw. It's got a, I believe, 60% throw as well, so it makes cycling the new round very, very nice and easy. So the MSRP on the Ruger Precision Rifle is $1,499, but you can probably pick it up street price for about $1,299 like I did. I particularly got this at Field & Stream at my local gun store for $1,299 myself. But anyway, other than that, what I didn't mention is just two things I put on here. I just put some tactical bipod, forgot who even made it, those are pretty common. And then I put a 6 Hour Tango 4, it's a 6-24 by 50 scope, and so far I'm loving this. You can actually pick this up for about $9.99, just about $1,000 on Amazon if you guys are interested. I'll put the link in the description. And then I put a little bubble leveler on that. And then I got a Vortex 30mm tube mount as well. That's pretty much all I did to make it mine. Oh, one more thing to mention is the scope sits on the 20 MOA rail, worth noting that. I believe that's all the specs out the way. But with that said, the two different ammunition choices that I use for today is the Hornady black ammunition. This is 6.5 Creedmoor 140 grain boat tail hollow point. So we're going to go ahead and test some of that out, as well as I knew if I didn't. Oh, and just to say the price on this is actually the same price, surprisingly enough, as the American Whitetail. This was about $19.99. I got this at Academy at $19.99 for $1.20. So without tax, it's $1 a shot. Now, comparing that, because like I was going to say, if I didn't shoot some match ammo, I would have been drilled in the comment section yet again. So I went ahead and paid the money just this one time, unless I want to do some more precision stuff later on, going for tight groups. But this is some more Hornady. This is 6.5 Creedmoor 147 grain ELD match ammunition. So yeah, make what you will about that. I know many of you guys are probably going to be doing hand loads anyway, but there's some different factory options. This was about $1.50 a shot. So yeah, kind of stung a little bit when it didn't go where I quite wanted it to. But yeah, anyway, I went out, zeroed it in a little bit, got accustomed to it, and then I went for grouping. So let's go ahead and roll some of that footage, and then I'll come right back here and then show you guys what I got. Okay, so the first target, this was the Ruger at 100 yards with the Hornady black ammunition, 140 grain boat tail hollow point. This was the one that's about $1 a shot, and from my experience, the cheapest factory ammo, it comes at $1 a shot. If you guys know of anything else, let me know and I could test that. But For this ammunition, 140 grain Bowtail hollow point, it did pretty well in my opinion. If I haven't mentioned already, this was purely a sight-in. So I fired the first two, if you could see that right there. These two are touching, and then I compensated for that. So then, and then the next two were touching right here, and I was pretty happy with that. Then I went for another one and just pulled it like a novice would. So that's my bad. So if we take away these two before the adjustment, and even counting that really bad pull that I do recall doing, that is 1 inch. So obviously at 100 yards, this thing is well capable, better than that, obviously. But this was sighting in, then I pulled it, but it does get better. The next one, also 100 yards. This was a 3-shot group with the Hornady ELE match ammunition. ELD, I'm sorry. And this was pretty great. I shot the first one, shot the second one, it was stacking, and I got really excited. And I just barely pulled it. Now, I do recall doing that one, but even with that slight pull, with my wobbly table, that is just below ½ an inch. Yeah, that's more like about 1/4 of an inch or so. Let's take a better look at that. Maybe, actually no, that's about ½ an inch exactly. So yeah, ½ an inch with the bad pull. That should have been 3 touching. That's on me. But yeah, overall, kind of, you know, for pulling it badly to be about half MOA, kind of already talking about the potential of this rifle. Now here it starts getting scattered a little bit because we pushed out to 300 yards. So this was a 5-shot group with the 147 match ammunition again, right here. And so yeah, this one, I guess this is where I would insert my excuses. It was about 95 or so degrees out. I was pretty darn shaky myself. You know, some days, I'm sure you guys can recall, some days us shooters are just stable as a rock. This was not one of those days for me. I was shaking like a tree for whatever reason. But with that said, this was just a shot, a group that I did. Not that great for 300 yards. I believe that's about 3 inches exactly, which is 1 MOA, but this gun is capable to do much better than that, as we'll see here. So yeah, just a novice shooter doing some mistakes there, so that's on me. This was actually a sight-in with that same one, and that actually ended up doing better for some reason. This was 147 grain as well at 300 yards, and this was a sight-in. And so if we get this outlier out, which we should, because like I said, this was a sight-in, I aimed center right here. I saw that it was high. I made the right adjustment, and then the other 4 shots were right here. So I will happily discount that one because that I did make an adjustment in between this. And then this will come out to exactly 2 1/4 inch or so, right there. And of course, this gun is capable even better than that. But as you can see, it starts getting a little bit better. Now, this was the best of the day, and surprisingly enough, this was not with the Hornady match ammunition. This was with the Hornady black 140 grain Bowtail hollow point. And this was a 5-shot group at 300 yards as well, and this was about 2 exactly. As you can see there, that hopefully you guys can see that, but that is 2 inches to the T. Now, that is, like I said, not the best conditions. I was shaking like a tree. Everything else, let me think of more excuses just to justify that. Yeah, I can't think of any, but if I had like some more stable platform that other people use, just clamp the gun down, obviously this would be even better. But with that said, about 2 inches at 300 yards, it's obviously well below MOA. It's definitely sub-MOA. Just how good can it get? That's just going to be how stable can I get the rifle. And in today's test, I just didn't get stable enough. But 300 yards, it's all right there. So if you guys think you could do better, I bet you could as well. So anyway, that's all the targets. Alright guys, so that just about concludes my review for my Ruger Precision Rifle 6.5 Creedmoor. In a nutshell, it's unbelievable. I just don't see what compares to get into the precision game at this price. I just don't see it. So this is a great gun. It fills in this gap in the marketplace that I think has been void for a while, and I just think you just can't beat it. Like I said, for the price you can't anyway. But yeah, a lot of fun to shoot. I can't wait to fill you guys in with my experience down the road. I'll be sure to update you guys once I go out to a range that goes well beyond 300 yards like I did today. Once I go out to, there's this one range that goes to 5, 7, 50, and 1,000 yards. Once I experience it then, I'll be sure to bring you guys along and fill you guys in with any new information I find, or if there's any kind of different information I find on ammunition, factory, or otherwise, I'll be sure to update you guys. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.